Hello everyone. Today I'll be discussing the infamous world of pickup artists. Now, about a year ago, whilst I was on holidays with no internet or basically no technology, I read The Game by Neil Strauss. Now, this was morbid curiosity as I obviously did not take it seriously. I wasn't reading it for academic purposes. It was more so a how do these men think? If you haven't heard of it before, The Game is a book written about Neil Strauss's life when he started to become a pickup artist and started to kind of develop a business around charging men for classes on how to pick up women and all these different techniques as to how to do so. And he became quite famous for it. He made a lot of money, and this was basically his story. Now, I have no idea what he looks like, but I always picture him as Barney from How I Met Your Mother. And I'm not here to talk about him per se, more so the methods that he described in his book and how they might relate to evolutionary theory. First of all, I have to make it clear that I do not find these methods serious nor ethical. To begin with. I think they're quite ridiculous and laughable, and I highly, highly doubt that they would ever work on me or anyone with two brain cells to rub together. But I guess that is the point, finding women, unfortunately, who are as dumb as a box of hair. Now, quite a few of these methods are quite mean-spirited. One of them is called negging, or neg. It's basically complimenting a woman but at the same time insulting her so that she ultimately seeks your approval for the rest of the night. An example of this would be, "Oh, I love your hair colour, but it looks terrible short." Now, if someone had said to me, I would basically brush them off as being a dickhead. But apparently some women respond to this, and the men do it so that the women seek their approval for the rest of the night. They've been given that short little kind of push with the compliment, like, "Oh, I love your hair colour, but I hate the style." So for the rest of the night, or whatever scenario they're in, they'll constantly try to seek the approval and make themselves feel better about themselves. If you haven't guessed by now, pickup artists' methods and the women that they prey on are usually people with very low self-esteem. If you need to be told how to pick up women, and if you need to use these mean-spirited methods to do so, then I'm guessing you don't have a lot of self-confidence or belief in yourself that you can pick up a woman, and vice versa. If you're a woman that falls for this kind of stuff, who falls for the you're pretty but you're also quite ugly, so you're going to need to prove yourself for the rest of the night, sounds like they also have quite low self-esteem. So it's definitely marketed to a certain group of people who aren't very happy with themselves or constantly seek the approval of others. Another slightly mean-spirited method that these pickup artists use is if they spot a girl that they like the look of, think she's attractive, want to get to know her better, they seek out one of her, and I quote from the book, uglier friends, and pay them the most attention throughout the night so that the attractive woman, who obviously knows she's attractive, this is what the book is assuming, becomes jealous of their ugly friend throughout the night because they thought that they would always be the one that gets picked up in nightclubs or wherever they're picking up. So this jealousy tactic is used to, again, make the attractive woman want to prove herself to this man. Now, the evolutionary theory in play here is quite simple, and that is that humans seek approval from others. The group cohesiveness relies on approval from others and approval of actions, words, just everything. So if a man seeks out that part of a woman that needs approval from men, especially these women with low self-esteem, they're ultimately picking on a very natural reaction from her in terms of wanting this male's approval. And this can be done by the male insulting her or the male not paying attention to her. Now, the next method is called peacocking. As you may notice, I'm wearing a crown. Now, peacocking involves wearing something or doing something that stands out in a crowd, much like a peacock's beautiful feathers. Now, the evolutionary theory behind this is that you have given up some of your, let's call it survival tactics, in order to appear more attractive to the opposite sex. Now, by survival tactics, I don't mean going out and hunting a bear. I mean that a man has given up a little bit of his dignity, because this book suggests that you wear a feather boa or a sparkly necklace or something like that. It proves to the women, apparently, that this man cares so much about mating, which is ultimately the natural end result that these men want, and that are what a lot of women want. They care so much about mating and producing offspring. This is getting very, very evolutionary here, not necessarily what these pickup artists want, but they're giving up part of their sexual selection strategies in order to appear more attractive, more different from the other men, and more brave, I guess. I think the braveness is more so the pickup artist thing, because it takes quite a brave, or I think stupid man, to wear a feather boa or something that sets him apart from the crowd. And apparently this peacocking method attracts women, because they go up and they go, "Oh, I love your lovely feather boa, come and have a drink with me," or something like that. It separates you from the rest of the normal men in the crowd. And this theory has been used in nature ever since it began. Peacocks, birds with beautiful big feathers, just any decorative feature that might hinder a male's behaviour or food seeking or hunting abilities, but makes him more attractive to the opposite sex. So although Neil Strauss may claim these methods as his own, they're actually hundreds of thousands of years old, just kind of adapted into modern life to fit into modern clubs or wherever people meet each other these days. He seems to think that it's a novel idea, but really it's been happening since the dawn of humans. I think his methods are degrading and sexist, but then again, I don't really feel sorry for the women that are tricked into it, because how can they not see that they're being played? Maybe they're so happy to have male attention that they don't see it, and it comes down to the whole self-esteem thing, which is what A, got the men into the program in the first place, and B, got the women to sleep with them in the end. So it's an interesting read. If you are curious regarding his methods and his life, he did lead a very interesting and kind of fabulous life. He got rich off it, got a lot of women. At the end of the book, I was kind of expecting him to go, "Well, in the end, I figured out that there's more to life than going around and picking up women at clubs," but it didn't really happen. So I suppose that was a surprise ending. Sorry if I ruined it for the rest of you, but it's not really a storybook. I personally don't think I would be fooled by any of these methods. A, because I find show-offs unattractive anyway. I would much prefer someone a bit quieter and more modest. But hey, if it works for them, go for your life. Who am I to say stop looking like an idiot to get women? I don't know. So I just thought I'd discuss some of the evolutionary theories behind it, try and put a tiny bit of science into what is a social phenomenon now. I don't know if it's as popular as it was about 5 years ago when the book was released, but I'm sure there are still some pickup artists out there. I can't say I've ever been approached by any, but I'm usually wearing nerdy science t-shirts a lot of the time, so I think that would stay away from me. Actually, I think a lot of people stay away from me because of them. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any comments or methods that you use to pick up people that you think might have an evolutionary background to them, let me know. Always interested in knowing new things. So thanks, guys, and I'll catch you later.